Hello students, today we will start with our new lesson, that is life process in living organism part 1. First we will say the short introduction, then we will shift towards the cellular respiration, then the aerobic, anaerobic processes and glycolysis. Okay, this we will take in this first session of life process in living organisms. So students, tell me, the living organism means the organism which is live and which has the cells which are alive, and they function in our body. They perform certain functions in our body. They make organs inside our body also and outside of our body also. They are functioning. The organs are functioning, and these organs form organ system. Which are the organ system? You have studied in the lower classes. Excretory organ system, respiratory organ system, then digestive organ system, and also many of the organ systems which we have learned in our lower classes. That organ system performs in our body and when the body is alive. So, what happens? How the organ system performs functioning in our body? What is needed for the organ system to perform? The coordination, okay? The coordination between them is necessary when a organ system performs. They cannot perform individually. One organ system is connected to other organ system. So they are connected with each other. They cannot perform individually. Okay. They have to be coordinated. Okay. So the cells of our body, the organs of our body, the organ systems of our body needs what? To perform the functions. What it is needed? Yes student, you are right. It is needed. Energy is needed. Okay. The energy is needed for the cells to perform in our body. The functions. Okay. So, how we get energy? We get energy from foodstuffs. Foodstuffs should be nutritious, not the junk food. Okay. The foodstuffs which are nutritious, fruits, and also one main thing which is very important is oxygen. From where we get? From water also and from air also, which we breathe, which we respire. Respiratory organ system helps us to respire and take oxygen inside our body. And this oxygen, foodstuffs and also the fruits, which are very essential. Why they are essential? Because they have food plant materials such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, etc. These are the materials which our body has to be in the form of energy. Okay, and in the form of energy, and our body performs the functions. Okay, so first we will see the cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is carried out by carbohydrates. Okay, the carbohydrates which are present in plant material. Just now we said that it is the main source of energy, and by that only we get energy to perform work, to perform the functions of our body. Okay, so the main carbohydrate, which is glucose. Okay, glucose What is the formula of glucose? C6H12O6. So glucose is the carbohydrate, one type of carbohydrate only, and it is needed in cellular respiration. Where is cellular respiration done? It is done in the mitochondria of a cell of living organism. If here it is a cell, here mitochondria is present inside the cell. So here it is mitochondria, and in this mitochondria cellular respiration occurs in the cell, in the mitochondria of a living cell. Okay, so how it is done? Glucose is reacted, it is oxidized. Glucose is oxidized. What is oxidized? Oxidized means reacted with oxygen. Glucose means C6H12O6 is reacted with oxygen. Okay, it is reacted with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, water, and energy, that is ATP. This glucose, oxygen, molecular oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So here students, what happens? The glucose is oxidized, means it is reacted. These are the reactants and these are the products which are obtained. Okay, so glucose is oxidized, means here are 6 carbon atoms. Therefore, we have taken here 6 oxygen molecules, molecular oxygen. So why? Because we have to balance the equation. Okay, so here 6 carbon dioxide, 6 oxygen molecules, water molecules, and ATP. ATP means what? Adenine triphosphate. Adenine triphosphate is the energy which is released after this reaction. Okay, so adenine triphosphate is, adenine is the, I will split this also. Adenine is the pentose sugar which is ribose, and triphosphate is the 3 groups of phosphate. That is why it is told triphosphate. There is ADP also. It has diphosphate which has 2 groups of phosphate. But here we get triphosphate, adenine triphosphate. It is a sort of energy which is released after the glucose is reacted with oxygen. Okay, student, understood this cellular respiration? This process is called cellular respiration. It occurs in mitochondria. It is very, very important. It can be asked in multiple choice questions. Where is this cellular respiration occurs? It occurs in mitochondria of a living cell. Okay. Here it has 2 methods of this glucose splitting. Glucose reacting with oxygen. Here it is 2 methods. Which are they? Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is in which oxygen is involved. Oxygen is present during this whole process of aerobic respiration. The name itself tells that aerobic means oxygen. Anaerobic means it doesn't have oxygen in that whole reaction, whole process. Okay, so anaerobic is totally opposite of aerobic. Anaerobic is there oxygen is not involved in this process. Okay, so we will first see aerobic respiration, where it has 3 steps. First is glycolysis, second is the tricarboxylic acid, and third is the electron chain transfer reaction. So first we will only see today the glycolysis. Glycolysis process we will see. Glycolysis process means, now you have studied in cellular respiration, the glucose is reacted with oxygen and it is done in mitochondria, and the ATP is formed, and the two products which are oxygen, which are water and carbon dioxide, and this whole comes into the cytoplasm of a living cell. Okay, from mitochondria it shifts towards the cytoplasm. So glycolysis process is done in cytoplasm. Cytoplasm of a living cell. Okay, it is also very important. It can be asked in the multiple choice questions. Where is glycolysis done? It is done in this process is done in the cytoplasm of a living cell. It is also the aerobic and anaerobic process. Both glycolysis is done. Here I am telling it in the short, very short, just introduction of glycolysis. It is in the 10th standard, but when you will study in 11th standard, it will be very deep. So today only I am giving you the introductory part of, because it is not needed in 10th standard. Okay, so here glycolysis means the splitting of glucose. Okay, the glucose is splitted, means the 6 carbon atoms of the glucose is splits into 2 parts, just like the cell, which is in the we have in the previous lesson we have studied about the embryology, and in that the cell in the embryo just has the cleavage process. The one cell divides into 2 and the 2 cells are divided into 4. Just the cleavage, you have to remember that. Just like that, here oxygen also, here glucose also divides into 2 parts. Okay, so the glucose, which is divided into 2, converts into pyruvic acid, 2 molecules each of pyruvic acid, ATPs and NADH2 and water. They are formed. These are the products which are formed after splitting of glucose. Okay, so here glucose. Glucose is converted into pyruvic acid. So here pyruvic acid formula CH3COOH. Okay, this is the pyruvic acid. This is glucose. And energy is released here. Means ATP is released. Energy means, I told you, ATP and NADH2. I will tell you that also, what is NADH2. First we will study this. Glucose, 6 carbon atoms. See here. Glucose, how many carbon atoms are there? 6. Here also carbon atoms are 3. 3 into 2, 6. Okay. Here oxygen 6. Here 1, 2 and 3. 3 2s are 6. Oxygen also 6. Okay. So here here it is divided into two parts. Okay, the glucose is divided into two parts. Understood this? How the splitting takes place to convert glucose into pyruvic acid. Okay, so we will see it in the molecular form also. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon atoms of glucose, and here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like this, splitting takes place of 2 pyruvic acid. Okay, and energy is released like this. Here 2 ADP plus 2P. Here 8 TP, 2 ATP, 2 molecules each, okay, of the glucose are produced. Here also 2 NAD and 2 NADH plus 2H plus. Okay, so here the splitting took place, and this is the energy which is released in the glucose. This process is known as glycolysis. Okay, the glucose is split into all these parts. Okay, so I told you what is this. I will tell you now. NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Okay, and this nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and hydrogen atoms are there. Okay, and all this which is present, which is released, it is known as acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl CoA. It ATP, NAD, NADH2, these are the acetyl coenzyme A. Okay, so this process is known as glycolysis. Okay, so here the energy is released like this, and this process is aerobic also and anaerobic also. Now in the next session we will study about the tricarboxylic acid reaction, which is known as Krebs cycle also. That we will I will explain it in the next session. So students, you understood these processes, the introduction and glycolysis, cellular respiration. So if you have any doubt, you can please comment me, and I will try to explain you further also. Okay students, thank you.